Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, run it back. Run it up, then run it back.
Hello and welcome to Thursday. This is Run It Back. My name is Michelle, and I've got the lovely Boogie, Chandler, Lou. What are we doing with the all-black shirts again, guys? We have to get out of this routine.
I'm an assistant coach over here with my.
I honestly think Chandler should show the pants he's wearing. I think today is a day where we need to share the with. Oh, well, that is a stretch.
Oh.
That's what's happening below the table. So
I've never stood up during the show.
And how's it feel?
Awesome.
Now that you have new knees.
I'm gonna keep it right here. What's up?
Okay, nope, we didn't ask for that. We got a lot to get to. We are kind of starting with not a basketball game, an article, as a matter of fact. Juicy, if I dare say so myself. Baxter Holmes, ESPN, wrote an article about how the Buss family infighting drove the sale of the Lakers. Some of the more interesting parts, however, involved Jeannie Buss and LeBron, about his, quote, outsized ego. He felt that Clutch exerted too much control. Also responded to Baxter's article she has, saying that it's not right that LeBron has been pulled into her family drama. There's a lot in this article, so we'll get to all that. But first, just outright reaction. Chandler, you first.
Well, the timing of it is extremely weird. They're in the middle of a season.
Brutal.
The fact that you're coming out with this article talking about the past and different moves and, you know, him being a savior, which he kind of was when they were terrible leading up to those championship years, and LeBron comes there in his second year, they win an NBA championship. I get it was the bubble, but there's no difference. So the timing of this, to me, is a little interesting. The backpedaling of her comments when she did the interview and the article
So much.
is a little confusing. And so, again, I wish my family had drama that sold for $10 billion.
God, so do I. So much.
I won't speak to my mother ever again for $10 billion.
I'll never speak to anyone again.
Yeah, I think I'll be all set. So if this is the worst thing that's ever happened, fine. But I understand the frustration. And again, I think the Bronny situation, draft him and the Rich Paul juice, that's just part of it. When you take on LeBron James, you take on one of the greatest players of all time. He is going to have clout. He's going to have leverage. That's a lot of players have that aren't LeBron James. Yeah, like most main guys, max players, they have juice, and especially if it's LeBron James and Rich Paul and everything that they've created in this league, they've earned that right. So they knew that when they were signing him. They knew there were going to be some obstacles to overcome, but listen, at the end of the day, it's a $10 billion fight. I just don't understand or love the timing of this article and then the backpedaling of the comments, how she feels bad he's getting dragged into it when it looks like she dragged him into it. That's where I'm a little confused.
By the way, there are other, just Boogie, before you say it, like there's talking about lack of accountability over the Westbrook trade. The fact that when they drafted Bronny, he seemed to be ungrateful for that. That's not my word, that's theirs. That they considered trading him in 2020. There's just, to come back and say that this isn't true, there are way too many little things in this that make me think, well, it's got to be a little true.
Yeah, I'm not really comfortable with the undertone and everything that's kind of being said. I'm reading between the lines, and it's, like I said, it's making me really uncomfortable. To speak on a guy's, ego as a professional athlete. I mean, if his ego bothers you, that means you're egotistical as well. So that kind of contradicts itself. As far as him being the savior, he was the savior of the Lakers. Nobody wanted to go to the Lakers before LeBron got there. And if y'all don't remember, I do. I'm old enough to remember. I was actually in the league. The Clippers were running LA at that time. So to comment on your comment, yeah, LeBron was the savior. He made the Lakers cool again. He made people want to come play for the Lakers. And
so
this
that's
is
what
no
we're
knock.
good with. That's
yeah, and there's no knock to the Laker organization. Obviously, you have a prestigious history, but we're also in a time where it's about what you've done lately. And as of lately, he's been your savior. So put some respect on it. And as far as all the other stuff, as far as her dragging him. You dragged them into this. Like, I don't like Chandler said, I don't like the backtracking. If you said it, stand on it. You know what I mean? You did a sit-down interview. These are all quotes. So to now come back and say, this wasn't what I meant and I didn't mean to drag him in, you absolutely did. And you just now are regretful for it because, you're feeling the backlash. You're feeling the heat.
It's very juicy.
So, of course, you would come out and say you didn't mean it that way. We don't believe it.
Can I put a theory out there that the timing of it, perhaps, which seems very weird to do this in January and not perhaps June, is that they want him to ask to be traded? Like, is there anything?
I'm pretty sure they do.
Is that why we're getting this today?
Maybe so.
I don't think you have to play these little mind games for LeBron James.
You don't?
I don't think so. Also, they don't even own the team anymore, right?
I agree with that, but if you make LeBron mad enough, he's
But that has
She
nothing.
still has like a
You
role.
think this
a little
one
bit.
little article from the owner's daughter?
He reacted
We
to
talking,
it.
we talking
but-
about a guy that a
Reacted to
city burnt his jersey, rioted in the streets. Basically, I'm being a little dramatic with the riot part of it, and he still went back and won them a championship. You think he cared about a little article?
No, I think he does care. You know why I think he cares? Because he did respond to it. He
Just
did
because
put
he
it-
responds
did.
don't mean.
Yeah, but he
it's-
can't. But
yeah.
we know that LeBron hears everything and remembers everything and does take.
But
some
why
of this.
shouldn't he be able
Here's
to
my
respond?
here's my
I don't have a
thing.
problem
though.
with
Here's my
responding.
thing, Beadle. Bronny's been 2 years. Westbrook's been 3 years. The bubble's been 5 years.
What the hell are we
Check,
talking
y'all
about?
gonna check ball or not? Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Is this even relevant to the current state of the Los Angeles Lakers? Even if they wanted to force LeBron James into a trade scenario, he's also gonna be in charge of that. He has a no trade clause. He's also a free agent at the end of the season. He holds his cards. And as a player, and these guys can attest to what I'm about to say, we all wish and dream to have control of our careers and where we're gonna go, where we're gonna play, how it's gonna go. Then you add in his son and have an opportunity to put your son into a position that works out. None of us have ever had that power, but LeBron James have.
Yeah.
And it's only it's a very small group of guys that has had the ability to be able to control their destinies throughout the whole course of their careers. And LeBron James is one of them, and this situation isn't any different. And so Jeannie Buss coming out saying sorry for dragging him into this is family drama, then cool. So if this is not a basketball issue, what are we talking about?
Also, the timing is so weird. They're a half game out of home court advantage behind the Houston Rockets. They're kind of having a great year. It's been up and down, but like they are right there in the
They're
thick of
not
things.
contenders.
No, but this dude's 41 years old. He's still playing at a high level. He's still, like Luda said, he still has all the juice because he has a no trade
And
clause.
still,
So like, no
so-
matter what you want to do, this guy gets to okay it. And so like, that's where I don't understand like the whole. This, like Lou said too. 2 years ago was Bronny. 3 years ago was like. Why are we even talking about this? This is strange. Who
No,
cares?
That's the question to ask yourself.
And
Why
the
are we
conversation,
talking
and
about
again,
Move on.
This is a Jeannie Buss and a Buss family issue, but we're talking about LeBron James still. Like, does this affect the current state of the Los Angeles Lakers or not? In my opinion, on the outside looking in, I think they got bigger fish to fry. They're trying to win, they're trying to compete right now as it stands. And all of these issues, Bronny, Westbrook, Bubble, blah, blah, blah. It's not relevant to what they're going through right now today. So I don't understand.
And also the Bronny draft thing, like he got $4.4 million guaranteed. Like there's no way LeBron wasn't grateful for that. And like so I don't. Again, we're not there. Like I don't.
But we don't know that. But in fairness, look, I'm not going to sit here. I don't know what happened, but maybe he wasn't. There is a way that he could have just been like, yeah, you got to do this, and that's all there is to it. And I'm not
What is
grateful.
he supposed to say besides thank you?
No, I don't. I'm not
What is
saying.
he supposed to
also,
do?
by the way,
Even if
I
he
don't like
says
the word
thank you,
grateful
even-
here. Anyway,
Are they grateful for the championship that they
That's what I
brought?
was about to say.
There's a
like,
weirdness to it.
Yeah, like what was supposed to be the reaction?
That's what I'm
I
saying.
agree, because at the end of the day, it's a job. Like the insinuation, as a woman, I feel very sensitive about this because, like, oh, you better be grateful for your job. No, you earned your job. That's
Exactly.
fine. The problem, though, with the Bronny situation is that a lot of people don't think he earned it, and so I think it's
Well, that's
funny
where
that.
I'm
But at
confused
the
at
time,
how
we
he-
were told that, oh no, he earned it, and this is that. Well, then apparently that's not true. Then none of that was true when you told us
As far as this
that.
article is concerned, LeBron James is a secondary issue.
Oh, I agree
but
with
we're
that.
making
The
it.
Busses are
We're
angry at
making
each
this about LeBron James. This is a Buss family issue. Let's keep it at that.
The
and-
brothers are mad at Jeannie.
The
It was a
brothers-
soul-
the brothers just got
So we
removed,
don't have
too,
to
from their
nitpick
role.
at LeBron James and all of these things. This is a family issue. And if Jeannie Buss is saying that he's getting dragged into it, well, I'm the person that's going to say, well, let's drag him out of it then.
Well, I still
So,
don't
and
like
y'all
the
keep
undertone.
I'm
I don't like
with
the
you on some
undertone
of
on
it.
this at all. I'm not okay with it. Like, I think this is showing her true colors as a person. I mean,
But remember
we're
on
talking about
International
egos.
Women's
We're
Day,
talking
they
about
were
being
hugging?
grateful. Like, this is sports. Like, what are we talking about?
It's a job.
What's
Like,
your sign of showing? Obviously, if we're basing it off Jeannie Buss's standards, if LeBron is ungrateful for, you drafting, Bronny, I don't know what type of reaction you're expecting from him to show gratefulness. Then what's your
Every
action?
day, just bow down. Thank you so
What's
much.
your way of showing your gratefulness for him bringing you a championship? Is this the way of showing it? By
Again,
putting out
it's a
hit
job.
piece?
I work
So-
for you. You pay me. That's the grateful. Like I don't
I
need a
don't
bunch of other stuff because that's a little bit weird. But LeBron did respond. I like that he responded, but I do think it's interesting how he responded because it's LeBron, and we're kind of used to sort of this. There you go. Still, he posted this, and then he responded to his. By the way,
these are facts.
He responded to his own post, but still underneath it.
And these are the facts of the matter. You can't move him without his clearance.
But that's what I'm saying. Maybe that's what they want. They want him to now be like, you know what? I am.
She has nothing to do with
and even
it
if they wanted him, and even if they wanted to, it's still gonna go his way, regardless. It's still
I agree with that.
It's still gonna go his way. And I commend LeBron James. And listen, I've said this privately to my friends. I've always commended the way that he's been able to control his destiny over 21 years in his career, because 98% of the players in the league are not afforded that luxury.
And that's exactly,
he deserves it.
And that's exactly why they don't like it.
If that's his response, more power to him.
Well, can I ask you this? Should he feel a certain type of way now? Like, hey, you know what? Maybe I kind of want out of here.
I think he probably already knows.
I think he was leaving anyway.
No, but I mean, like, I want to
way
be
messier
traded.
than this. He got business here. His family is here. His whole epicenter, everything, his whole ecosystem, I'm sorry, is here.
No, both is good. I like both.
And when you're around,
everything is here.
When you're
so if he wants to leave, he will leave. But if he doesn't want to, you're not going to force him out, especially you've sold a team already. It don't matter.
He's been around this family and this franchise enough to, he probably is not even blindsided. He probably knows this is just how it should be.
I think the response is something, though. I don't think it's nothing.
Yeah, but that's just how today is, too.
That's just a reminder.
Because, well, no, but I'm saying, if you're LeBron James, do you have to write it?
No, that's like saying, does Kevin
not.
Durant have to respond to Twitter trolls?
agree.
It's what you do now. I don't think that makes him, like, sensitive or it makes him,
kinda wish he hadn't,
emotional.
though.
It's just...
I'm glad he did.
Yeah,
You are?
I would do the same
You
thing.
know,
And by the way,
outside of basketball, we're talking about a 40-year-old man.
It's weird.
We're talking about a 40-year-old man. So you think an
41.
article is gonna rattle his tree with the things that he's been dealing with throughout 20+ years of playing in the NBA?
Depends on
he
where his
went to
mind
a
is.
city, then people literally tore his stuff down, burnt his, and he's from there, by the way, and he still went back. This little article ain't shaking the tree.
so who wouldn't do what he did, too? Like, if I could get my son on the Lakers, I'm on the Lakers, you know damn well I'm going to do that?
Wait, no one ever said
Jeannie
they
Buss
wouldn't.
got the Lakers through the same way.
what I'm
Like, how are you upset about Bronny?
He got passed down to you just like
Through
that.
nepotism. What are we talking about?
you
Like,
don't-
cut it out. Like I said, I don't
answer
like
the
the
question,
undertone in this.
I do
don't.
not think that he demands a trade at this point.
No, I
Okay.
think this
Nobody
is just
thinks he
laughable.
does.
No.
No.
Do the Lakers wish he would?
Sure.
Okay. Okay.
And still.
He could also just walk.
Now put the right shoe up.
No, I agree with you, but I'm just saying, do you think
You
the
put the
Lakers
left
are
shoe
like,
up, now put the
please?
right shoe up.
He could also
And
just
still,
walk
I'm still
this
in control
summer.
of my
If
destiny.
this is your way of trying to push him out, he can just walk this summer and then fine, pay Austin Reeves, keep Luka, and build around those
Sure.
two. But this isn't going to help him, but again, this family is just now kind of getting detached from this franchise anyways, and this is just outside noise at a horrific, weird time.
Weird time. I 100% agree with you on that. They're 26-16, fifth
we go.
in the West. Let
Recent
me ask you
drama.
this,
Half game
Boogie.
out of
Let's talk
four.
about some recent.
By the way, and
now drama.
Whether it's relevant, not relevant, everyone's heard it. They're all going to wake up today and be like, oh, this is what the world is talking about in sports right now. So I'm wondering, as a team, are you like, does this
As a
bring it all
person
together?
who's worn the purple and gold, this is just another day.
So you
in
don't
LA.
even, it doesn't even phase you.
This is another day in LA.
I don't even think they talk about it today in the facility.
It's another day.
It's just it's noise. It's outside noise that means nothing.
I've been part of that tradition. This is another day.
There'll be another article tomorrow that will.
This was a juicier, you got to give it. It is a juicier article than we're used to
Only reason
in
I-
January.
It was juicier than what we're used to,
Yeah.
but it still was like, all right, what are we even talking
But the main thing with this, regardless of, how she did try to attack, the situation, this is a person that's no longer technically a part of the organization. So this is something you can kind of just, whatever, and move on with your day. It'd be different if this was still the current owner. Now that she's not a part of it, it is.
Yeah, if this was Walters coming in being like, you know what, we're not
would be
listening to
interesting.
LeBron anymore. We're not drafting any more family members. We're not doing. Then that would mean something. This is old news.
Yeah, but she's not, I mean, I think only she is still sort of,
She's still governing.
she's
if
still
I'm-
got
yeah.
a bit of a role. I almost want to call it like a consultant role, for lack of a better
good luck.
term. But I'm
That's
wondering,
just a courtside
what if
seat.
that was a message through? What if that was a message from new ownership that she's the one that sort of had to put out there, passive
I
aggressive?
think we're looking too far into
I love
it.
to look too far into things, though. You know this. This is conspiracy theory, and I
I'm
like
not trying to guess what's inside these billionaires'
read
brains.
between the lines.
Yeah.
That's the best part. All right, so that is the article of the day. Baxter Holmes, he'll just show up sometimes.
They woke
with a
up and said, you
bomb.
know what? I'm going to take this $10 billion and go at one of the greatest players of all
10
time about
billion.
shit 3 years ago.
But I would never, you'd never hear from
In the
them.
middle of like a season where they're doing okay.
They're doing all right. So I don't know.
Weird.
But we had some games. We had actual games last night that were played on courts. Thunder, Bucks, SGA, easy one. 122-102. He finishes with 40, 16 of 19 from the field with 11 assists. Mitchell with 18, 8 of 12. Giannis finished with 19, 8 of 11, interestingly enough. 14 rebounds, 7 assists. He only took 3 shots in the first half. And after the game, this is where it gets fun. Let's listen to Giannis after this one, because he sounds low.
We're not playing hard. Not playing hard. We're not doing the right thing. We're not playing to win. We're not playing together. Our chemistry's not there. Guys are being selfish. Guys are trying to look for their own shots instead of looking for the right shot for the team.
Okay, so if you missed some of that, it's the team is selfish, making their own shots. He ain't happy.
Subtitles.
Chemistry's bad. It's like there's always such bad audio too that you're like, okay, I think I got it, but I've heard it 9 times now, so I got this. Lou, I almost feel like we're doing the check mark of divorces. Like we've started up here and now we're down to the I'm gonna make the rest of the team hate me.
Yeah,
he's lawyered
Listen,
up.
Yeah.
watching this game last night, they don't look connected. It looks like there's a complete disconnection. There was one play that stood out to me. They were in the 2-3 zone, and OKC literally got a layup. How do you get a layup from a team that's in a 2-3 zone?
They're playing 2-3 zone.
And I've played for Doc Rivers before, and Doc says any team that ever goes to a 2-3 zone, that means they can't guard you, man. And if they couldn't guard man, they still can't guard in the zone. That is something that he said as a coach. So when I saw them in a 2-3 zone, I said, ooh-wee, I know what this is. And so from a basketball standpoint, it just looks like it's not working out. And as Giannis just mentioned, and we talked about this with the New York Knicks as well, there's 2 things they can control, their attitudes and their efforts. And it looks like they don't have the right attitude going forward. It looks like they don't have the effort going forward. And so what's going to work against you is you have one of the top 5 players in the world. He looks unhappy. He looks disconnected. And it's probably going to get louder and louder that a divorce is coming sooner than later.
Yeah, it feels like this is going downhill, and it's going downhill quick. And the team isn't good. And I love me some Bobby Portis. I hope he gets packaged in this deal somehow. But Ryan Rollins has been their only bright spot of the season, the kind of the surprise. Everyone else on that whole roster has struggled. It's been so up and down. They don't play defense. They're 27th in points. They're 23rd in offense. They're bottom 5 in defense. Like, they are an atrocious basketball team. So, like, it's not getting any better. The only way this team can get better is to do a huge move with Giannis, and hopefully they include Bobby or Kuzma and something like that, because I feel for these guys that are on this situation, because it's not going to just fix overnight. Like, this team is not good. They don't defend. They don't play hard. They're not connected. And you can see the frustration with Giannis here. We're talking about guys playing selfish and taking bad shots. Like, he looks sad.
No, you can hear it. It's just,
and that can't be fun, and I don't want this to turn into where he's got to ask for a trade and he's a bad guy. So I think,
well, he said he'll never ask one.
He already did via his agent.
Couple more games like this, he might be whistling a different tune, Lou. Because this team, there's no way of finishing this season with hope with this current team. It's impossible.
Well, that's funny because, I mean, look, we'll get to it, but just because you just said that, everybody out there, the reports keep saying that they're not taking offers, that they're actually still looking to be buyers. So that tells me that they think... Did their report
come out before yesterday?
That's my thing. I think this is the most fluid.
This is the NBA. Things change by the day.
Divorces get ugly.
Changes by the day.
If they don't, it's not going to solve well. People keep thinking they'll do it in the offseason, then it'll be a little bit easier for people to digest. But
that would make more sense with a player of his magnitude. But the way this season's going, and it's just, I think it.
It's the perfect storm.
I think it was doomed from the beginning. I think they, sold us a lot of smoke and mirrors as a distraction to make it seem like they're, actually putting something together for this caliber of a player.
Well, Boogie, we all stay in a relationship probably a month too long.
A month? Yeah. Hell, I've done a year. Yeah. It's brutal.
We've all stayed in a relationship a little longer than we're supposed to, hoping that something changes.
Yeah, but I think at this point it's starting to get dragged out. I do still feel with a player of this caliber, it has to be an off-season move. I think Giannis would prefer it that way. To move middle of the season, like I said, a player of this caliber, just the messiness in the middle of a season, I just don't see it happen.
I have a prediction, guys.
Wait, are you seeing
I want this to be a flashback moment. All-Star weekend, there will be a big splash.
Uh-oh.
And I think it got Giannis' name on
Was
it.
the
That is my prediction.
deadline's the 15th?
No, the 6th, 5th, 6th.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
Right before the Super
All-Star
Bowl.
weekend, we always get some weird
Where you
information,
going?
some weird news.
Where you going?
I mean, probably the obvious. Knicks, Miami, one of the two.
See, I was kind of
What about
hoping the
the
Knicks would
Warriors?
lose last night.
Warriors is a sleeper pick. I had that
Wow, Lou,
conversation
that's a big
yesterday.
deal for Lou to say this out
Yeah.
loud. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just
I'm
glad
here
we're
for
talking
that.
about basketball now.
I would love it for him, honestly. I always want to see great players on great
I
teams.
agree with
And this
that.
is not a great team, and he's getting up there in age, and I want to see him on a contender for the rest of his career. And it's not going to be Milwaukee.
We don't believe that they're not taking offers, right?
They're on the phone right now.
That's
have to
bad
be.
business.
They're on the phone right now.
Yeah, like they're on the phone or they're just answering the phone.
Both.
Okay, so they're actually okay. I kind of like
It
that.
changes by the day.
God, I just want to know what they get back because this is going to be crazy.
They get back a lot.
We'll see in a couple
You
weeks.
think they get back a lot?
What do you know something?
Yeah, what are you talking? What's going on down there?
Never seen
I
you
don't know,
like
I'm
this.
just feeling good today. That's usually your hat to wear.
Well,
So you're saying
You stole my drink, I stole your hat.
Because it goes. Let me get this straight. Let me get the dates right. It's trade deadline, Super Bowl, then All-Star weekend. Because I remember Luka got traded, and then all Super Bowl was talking about was the Luka trade. So you're saying that by the time we get to All-Star, he will have a different address.
I think
That's what.
Saturday night, I'm putting the address up.
holy shnikes.
Man, this is getting specific. What are you, a witch? I like this for you. All right, so that will continue to stay on Giannis watch, but sound bites like that probably not helping the case that he's going to stay there much longer. Guys, the big rivalry last night was obviously Cleveland and Charlotte.
Oh, this was a barn
We were
burner.
waiting on this one all year. Cavs defeat the Hornets. It was a weird second half, but 94-87.
94-87, that's the final score
What
after
year
3
is
quarters.
that? Yeah, no kidding. Evan Mobley with 14 and 14. Donovan Mitchell with 24-6. 8 turnovers.
Oh, there he is.
LaMelo finished with 2 points, 1 of 15, 0 of 10 from threes.
I'd like to dive into this.
Should we process that for a second?
We're not big Charlotte Hornets. We don't really watch them often.
Don't drag me into nothing you about to say.
Your words, not mine. And LaMelo Ball, I understand he might not be your franchise piece. You might not want him to be your best player on your team. The idea of putting this dude off the bench makes no sense to me at all. He is way too good. He is way too talented. Their team is nowhere near good enough to be bringing that dude.
Is there something I'm missing about him coming off the bench? Is there an injury or
No.
am I missing something?
I don't know if it's
Well, it
tanking
works.
or they're like trying to prove a point to him or they're trying to get the best out of him and they're officially making Khan or Brandon Miller their franchise pieces. But you're bringing LaMelo Ball off the bench, who at the end of the day, love him, hate him, whatever, he is a 6'7", do-it-all, flashy guard who has played the exact same way from high school to Australia to when you drafted him. Nothing has changed. So you knew what kind of player you were getting. You knew what kind of guy you were getting. Why are you confused now? Like that's where I am having a hard time, understanding what's going on here when this guy is.
Okay, but that stat line's still that stat line.
That's a bad
What's a
night.
bad
That's
game?
just a bad night.
Really bad.
It happens.
LaMelo Ball is coming off the bench for the Charlotte Hornets.
I know.
In what world?
46 games in. That's
Well,
a
you know
bad
what?
night.
Wemby's starting again. Maybe they were waiting on that to do the trend thing and follow that. Maybe he starts. Maybe this changes something. I have no idea.
Zion James started at point guard.
Okay, I don't know, you're yelling at me, but.
What are we doing? Stop trying to reinvent the wheel.
Nope, that's
What if
that works
stop?
here.
Well, we also talking about the same team, same coach that put a AAU boxing one on Steph Curry, and Steph was being funny. He walked off the court, and he literally got followed off the court. Like we're talking about the same thing. I don't think they're reinventing the wheel. I just think they've run out of options of things to try.
So let's bench one of our best players and put him off the bench. Like you played with Charles Lee. What kind of coach is he?
This ain't even about Charles Lee. I don't even think he's a real factor in this. The point I want to make is, and I may be,
Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah,
this
I
time.
may be going against the grain saying this, but I like this Charlotte group. Do I think they're ready now? Absolutely not. But I do think they have a future if the right pieces are put around this young group to help them develop and grow. I like LaMelo at point. I like Brandon Miller. I like Con Knipple. I like this group. I just think
I like all of those guys you just mentioned as individuals.
Yeah.
I like this group together.
Also, they
I
have-
just feel like they need the right leadership to push them in the right
So then
direction.
it is about Charles Lee.
They all, yeah, and also but they have no consistency. One game Sexton starting,
Well, I
one
don't
game
think-
Kalkbrenner starting, one game like
Right,
they
but I
have
don't
no
think
consistency.
Don't know him as a person, as a man. We're talking about coaching. So
Well, I don't
if we
think-
like the group,
the fact that you're benching LaMelo, I don't think that's a good coaching move. So we could just put that out there. I'm not going to go out on a limb and say Charles Lee isn't a good coach or is a good coach. I think he's an up and coming coach. I think he has things to figure out, which we all do as young individuals in this league. But with all that being said, I don't think it's the right leadership leading this young group right now. I think they should stick it through, let these guys continue to grow together. I don't think Charles Lee...
LaMelo Ball included.
Absolutely.
I was gonna say,
don't
does
think
this
Charles
feel-
Lee was
But-
brought there to push this group
Not like this.
to the playoffs.
Not like this.
I don't think that's
LaMelo
what they
Ball
brought him
can't
in
be
for.
included with him
Boogie,
coming off
why
the
are
bench.
these franchises devaluing their young stars?
It's a
this
trendy league,
This
man.
seems like another, this is another situation where we have this guy who you look at him however you want, but he's extremely talented and he's been trade rumors. You've heard LaMelo Ball, John Morant, Trae Young all season long. This guy, especially LaMelo Ball, now when he's a trade asset or you're devaluing and bringing him off the bench and having games like this, like
But
I don't
wouldn't you
understand
want him
why.
to have
max
value,
contract.
to bring back
I would rather do the
value
opposite.
for you?
Play him 40 minutes a game, let him go nuts, and then trade him if you don't think he's a
Yeah,
future
so
piece.
I don't know if I completely agree with the devalue thing, because again, if you're going to devalue him, that devalues what you're going to
That's
bring
why I
back
don't
in.
understand
But
why
you
they're
don't
bringing him
bring
off the bench. Play him
if you're
40
trying to
Well, it's
minutes.
the
keep his
first. It
value
is the
high.
first night of a back-to-back. You know, they do. I think they say they
No,
try
well,
to
they've been
preserve
doing
the
this.
ankles. I know. I agree with you, but just
So he's gonna start
to give
tonight?
this particular. Well, I guess we're gonna find
Also,
out.
there's something about continuity and flow and consistency of rotations and lineups.
Does this
You
not
can't
read
keep
like?
mixing it up.
Does it read that LaMelo Ball in the eyes of the organization is long term, or does it read like, yeah, we're fine if he leaves? Like we're
No,
gonna.
they
try
would
to
not
that.
do this to Concanipo right now because that's their
Okay.
guy going forward currently. They're not just going to bring him off the bench for what? It's their guy.
Whatever it is, it's not working either.
I mean,
So let's go back to what we've been doing.
Back to the drawing board.
But I'm also with
They
Boogie.
might-
Like this team, they have talent.
They have
like
a
in
lot
the
of
Eastern
talent,
Conference
man.
is not that stacked. Like they are a couple pieces away, a couple vet guys away from adding. See, like, but when you look at the talent they have and the season that Concanipo's having, the star potential with Brandon Miller, Kalkbrenner, Ball, like they got. They got.
you don't do that again.
No, you got to slow down.
That's just too much, buddy.
You got to
Kalkbrenner.
slow down.
How do you say it?
Come on.
I don't know what
we
you
don't.
just said.
We don't
Keep
say
rolling.
it.
Keep rolling. Don't worry. Don't let
My
us
point
get you
is
off
they
the-
got talent.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna let it, and we'll
And it
go.
starts
okay,
and
let's
ends with
keep
the
going.
cock,
Let's no. Okay, let's talk. By the way, Draymond Green did recently say that this whole, and you guys sort of alluded to it in there, that making him come off the bench this way is that they're literally tanking in plain sight.
Well, they're losing with him playing too, so it's not like they're
So,
losing.
but yeah, but Draymond said that. So so we're not agreeing with that they're losing regardless, or that.
I just think this
They've also
team is
had
kind of
some
years
crazy
away.
wins.
They do have talent, but like even if you play LaMelo Ball 30 minutes, 35 minutes a game, it doesn't guarantee you to win games. I just think it's not the right thing for his
Okay.
his progression. Like I don't think it makes sense at all to bring him off the bench. I really don't.
I think it all still falls in the same category as organizations, as of right now, are devaluing their star players. I still think it falls in that category. Why? It still doesn't make sense. If it's for tanking reasons, I mean, that makes sense, but if this is a guy that has been rumored to be traded, rumored to be a guy that you really don't want there, I feel like you would want, in return, the most you can get.
I believe the saying is sell high, buy low, and if you're the sellers, you want the best thing that you're doing. Like this is a house stock thing. Like don't we look at things like that? Like
Yeah, like if
Why are
I'm
you
trying
devaluing
to,
my stuff?
if I'm trying to tank, I'm not even gonna play him 22 minutes.
I'm not going to
That's
play
okay.
him,
I'm gonna play him. I feel that would be playing
let
something.
alone just punk him. And
Actually, I'm
bring
not
him
gonna
off
play
the
anyone
bench.
if I'm.
But I don't think you
tanking.
can do that either, because now you're messing up attendance.
It's all bad.
sales.
Wasn't he an all? He was an
That's fair.
all-star. He was an
From top to
all-star at one
bottom,
point.
it's all bad.
Was he an all-star?
He's also, I think he had the most votes for a
No,
minute
he's
there,
coming off
too,
the
during
bench
this.
for one of the worst teams in the league.
Yeah, make it make sense is what we're trying to say. We're going to take a very, very awesome quick break. We'll be back on the other side with more Run It Back.
Run it up, then run it back.
All-star stuff. We'll start in the West. Just as a reminder, the reserves will be announced on Monday. So let's take a look. We're going to remind you guys who the starters are, just so
Okay.
we can start fresh here. Steph Curry.
That is a squad.
SGA, Jokic, but I mean, it's yeah, if it was only going to stay that way, but it ain't. Those are your starters. So let's go through the possible Western Conference All-Star reserves. Chandler, take it away.
All right, I'm going to start first with Devin Booker. I feel like a guy that we haven't talked a lot about this year, but the Phoenix Suns have had a surprisingly good year. They're 27-17. They're right there fighting for a playoff berth. 25-4-6. You know he's a great two-way player. He has been unbelievable, so consistent all year long, and I think he deserves. I think no one really gave Phoenix a chance this year. I don't think they're a contender, but he's carried this team to a pretty successful start, and I think they're going to be a tough outcome playoff times, and we all know how good he is. So Devin Booker will be an All-Star reserve.
Okay.
And next on the list, speaking of the Suns, we tried to say that this guy was done when he was there last year, and we got Kevin Durant at the Houston Rockets. Got a fresh start there, and we were even trying to make him Sengun's wingman. Well, now we can make a case that Sengun is his wingman. At 37 years old, he's still KD, still one of the best players in the world. Didn't become a starter. It's a young man's league now, but still to have somebody at this age playing at the clip that he's playing, averaging 25, 5 and 4. At this stage of his career, coming off an Achilles tear years ago and still being able to do his thing, much love to Kevin Durant.
How's he do it?
How's he?
With the next guy, we got a guy that could possibly even be a starter. Some say he kind of got overlooked as a starter, but still a star in this league, Anthony Edwards. Incredible year. He continues to get better each season. Leading a young group in a tough Western Conference, averaging close to 30 a game. I mean, we don't really have to speak much more on him. His talent speaks for himself. Anthony Edwards. So.
I would have been totally okay with KD or Anthony Edwards starting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Over
anybody.
But you know what? Edwards probably wants to play in this All-Star game, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Kevin Durant is cool with, and Devin Booker cool with coming off the bench at this stage in their career. But and shout out to Wemby too. I like the fact that he came out and said, "Hey, I plan on playing hard. Y'all better tighten up." So I like the way that he set the tone.
Ant technically end up being a starter?
He can, because with how it's going to shift with the world teams. But
Okay.
Anywho, All-Star reserve number 4. Now this guy's numbers aren't as gaudy as the other guys, but Chet Holmgren has got to make the All-Star team. With the team success the Thunder has had, 37-8, and you have to reward the winning situation. They're going to get 2. It's got to be Chet with the way Jalen Williams has struggled, the way he's the anchor defensively on this #1 defense in the league. Favorite for Defensive Player of the Year, probably because Wemby can only miss 2 more games for that. But regardless, this guy's having a great year. He's consistent. He's tough. He's efficient. He does it all. Chet Holmgren will be an All-Star this year, mostly because the Thunder have an outrageous season and they're going to get 2.
Okay.
Moving on, my former teammate, Kawhi Leonard. Wow. One of the best two-way players in the game. It's never been about whether he can play or not. It's always been about him being available, and this year he's been available. The Clippers not having an ideal year that they would like, but they're playing better basketball at this juncture in the season, and a lot of that is because of Kawhi Leonard and the way that he's been able to play on both ends of the floor. So much deserves. Shout out to my dog.
Also good to see him back. I
love
watching him go.
It's a better time.
So for the next guy, long overdue.
Hey, listen.
What are we doing?
About damn time. Jamal Murray, my UK brother. They finally give you the credit you deserve. Hopefully he gets to see his first All-Star appearance. Like I said, long overdue. He's been holding down the fort with the big fella being out, having an incredible season. Probably his best season yet, in the regular season. Usually show ups in the playoffs, goes crazy, but, like I said, finally, he's getting the credit he deserves, Jamal Murray.
I like it.
I love that, and I think he's a lock as well. Honestly, I think we kind of nailed it on these.
Wow, if you don't say so yourself.
I'll say myself. Okay. But last but not least, Alperen Sengun.
Woohoo!
Unbelievable big guy, can do it all. He is the anchor of this team. Kevin Durant's having a great year. But it's such a young team, this guy can do it all. He's a little baby Jokic. You can play through him. You can play around him. He can pick and pop. He can do everything. And he's just an absolute stud. The Rockets are having a great year. They're going to be right there in that 3, 4, 5 range. And again, I think that's a team that's going to get rewarded 2 guys just for their success and the stats they're putting up. So I think he kind of rounds out this Western Conference reserves. Obviously, he's going to be on the Euro team too, but that's a stacked team.
Are we, okay, the next question is, Avdia is one of those guys. Denny Avdia is having a season that maybe not everyone, but is he?
Like Avdia and Lauri Markkanen, right? They're having a great year, but they're on bad teams.
I thought we got it right. You can make a case for LeBron as a legacy pick, obviously.
Which still might.
But
there's only one other guy I would consider outside of LeBron, and that's the young fella, Keontae George.
I would have said Lauri.
I'm going with Keontae. He's having an incredible year. He's a superstar in the making, a young PG in this league. If you haven't heard of him, go
Laurie
look
at
him up.
28 though.
He will be
28 and 25, both respectfully.
How
for
about
both
Julius
of them.
Randle, one of 6 players averaging 22 plus,
God, we
7
haven't
plus
even-
rebounds,
There
and
you go.
5
Have
plus
we even
assists?
said
with you,
Julius
Deontay.
Randle this year?
We're showing these guys love, but at the end of the day, I can't look at this list and say that they will replace any of these guys with the way that this season is gone. But listen, the league is in a great place. It's a lot of young guys that's hooping. Shout out to Keontae, shout out to Denny, shout out to Laurie. A lot of young talent that's holding it down. They're on the cusp of doing great things, but I don't think you put them on this list outside of any.
Like, if you didn't see the team record and you put up the statistics next to each other, Chet, I think, would be the one that would be off. But
That's
you
fair.
have to reward winning and you have to reward defense.
There's
So he's
context to this.
Yeah, he's going to be on. Yeah, he's averaging 18 and
Yeah.
Laurie's averaging 28. That means nothing when you're on the first ranked team versus the 14th ranked team.
I believe you, Chandler. I really do.
Well, I don't want to
done.
say it again.
Okay, fair enough. Eastern Conference. You're up next. Now, a reminder as to who the stars are, or the starters, I should start with. Are we going to
A lot of guards.
There you go. That's your starting squad for the East as of now.
Well,
Jalen.
Giannis
Okay,
is going to
sorry.
be off
Okay, well, yeah, fair.
because he's going world.
He is going to go world, but we can't get into that now because it's too
Okay,
much.
you're right.
So let's start with the reserves. Boogie, you're up first.
big fan of this young kid. A man-child. I think he's one of the pillars of this young Pistons group, and Jalen Duren. Well-deserved, having an incredible season. And the scary part about it, this kid still has so much more growing to do as a player and as an individual.
He is 22 years old.
Yeah, he's. I think this is one of many All-Star appearances for this kid. Super bright future. So, congrats.
sir.
The Pistons are going to have 2 All-Stars.
They should.
Isn't
about
that
that?
great?
Deserved.
God, I love
If they
it.
could get a third, they should.
Much reserved. Excuse me. Moving on. One of my former teammates as well. Tiny Dog. That was his nickname. That's what we used to call him, Tiny Dog. Brandon Ingram. Listen, this is a classic case of scenarios and situations matter. Where you play and what situation you're in, that matters. From the Lakers to the New Orleans Pelicans weren't his best stops, but he finally found it in Toronto. So I'm happy for this pick, happy for him to be involved with this All-Star weekend and the All-Star game. Much deserved for the 4th place Toronto Raptors. A lot of that success is hedged on the way that he's been able to play this year. At 21, shooting 47 from the field. Love it. Love to see this for B.I.
Yeah, they're one of the surprise teams, too. I don't think anyone was expecting them to be a top 4 team. Okay, number 3, reserve. Who do we have? I forgot. Who do we got? We got Jalen Johnson. We got Jalen Johnson. By the way, he was balling last
Literally
night.
right there.
I was looking at this and panicked.
Making it complicated.
He had a hell of a game last night, too. 32, 15, and 8. This kid continues to get better.
You heard
obviously.
that, Boogie? Huh?
32, 15, 8.
ATL.
Did they
Also,
win?
I think they did.
They did.
Yeah, they did. They beat Memphis.
They did.
Well, okay.
Obviously, with the move of Trae Young, this kid is officially their franchise piece. He's only going to continue to get better. He's gotten better every single season. He's so athletic, but now he's expanding his game. He's going to be a guy I'm actually excited to watch play in the game, too, because I feel like he's one of those young, bouncy dudes that's going to play hard. He's going to leave it all out there, and he's going to be a huge player in this game. So I love him. Congrats, because I think you're going to make the All-Star team.
Woohoo!
For sure. Next up, we have a guy that could possibly be a starter as well. Individually having an incredible year, probably one of his best seasons.
Still may be, by the way.
Still may be a starter to lose point, but Donovan Mitchell leading this Cavaliers team. Up and down year with the team, but like I said, individually, he's having an incredible year. Possibly a starter, so Donovan Mitchell.
Okay.
And speaking of great individual years, next guy on this list is going to be Michael Porter Jr. out of Brooklyn.
Hell of a year.
Listen, they're not having a great year as a team, but sometimes when a guy plays to that clip, it's undeniable. He deserves to be an all-star. This guy went from being a 3rd option to the 1st option, and this is much deserved, averaging almost 26 points, averaging 25 points a game, balling out of Brooklyn. Like I said, nasty loss last night, but individually...
Damn, that was nasty.
Dang, dude.
He scored
Individually,
66 points.
But you
Stop.
can't deny what he's doing individually, so I feel like this is deserved as well. MPJ.
Great year. This is just a tale of 2 different conferences, too. Like, we're rewarding all these winning teams on the West. These guys are guys on not such winning teams, but they're having great individual
That's a great
seasons.
observation, Chandler.
And number 6, especially, like Norman Powell, again, this guy has put himself from a 6-man type in L.A., gets moved, gets traded, and now he is becoming this franchise-type all-star level player. He's putting up crazy numbers. They're 8th in the East again, but I think they're a team that can continue to rise in this. And he's another guy with Jalen Johnson. He just keeps getting better with more opportunity and a bigger role. he continues to flourish. He's an efficient guy. He's a two-way player. So Norm Powell, I think, has a really good chance to make this reserve sitch in the East.
I'm not against that.
And last but not least, another one
Don't
of
be
my
so excited.
Yeah,
dude.
well, it
you're a
doesn't sound
mullet.
like it's not least, but
another one of my UK brothers,
Okay,
Karl
so-
Anthony Towns, having a good year with this New York Knicks team. Actually had a really good bounce back win last night against the Nets, beat the crap out of them. So that's a good step for this Knicks team. But individually for Cat, sort of an up and down year, but still figuring out, still helping this team win games in the East. One of the top teams in the East. Karl Anthony Towns, another All-Star reserve.
okay. Anybody? Yeah, okay. I see your finger in the air, Chandler. Go on.
So I think the Raptors could possibly get 2. I think Scotty Barnes is up there. His numbers are honestly kind of better across the board than Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram's just kind of been their guy and their go-to scorer. I don't want to take anyone off that list, but I think if anyone can get at it, it's Scotty Barnes. And also Orlando not having one.
Wait, you said if you don't want to take anyone off, but if you did, who would it be?
I don't want to. Maybe Michael Porter, just because the Nets are so bad. But I think, again, what are we rewarding? Are we rewarding individual statistics, team success?
I don't know.
Is it
The
a
chat
balance of
says
it?
Scotty Barnes over Brandon.
You know what? Honestly, I
Scotty
think this
Barnes
is
over
the
his
first,
own teammate, and also Orlando doesn't get
I think
anybody.
this is the first year in a long time we kind of got the balance right between team wins and individual success.
Does Orlando not get one, like Bain or Powell?
Nope, not according to this.
Paolo, I mean.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, interesting.
Maybe
this one,
Franz.
there's going to be some surprises here and some snubs there because Porter, Barnes, or Ingram, they all could make it, and 1 or 2 of them aren't going to.
Okay, fair enough. Somebody's feelings are going to be hurt. Always the
Every
way it
time.
is. Every
How it
time.
goes.
Guys, it's rivalry week. Okay,
Is it?
Well, no, but we're going to do it anyways. On the other side, let's see what we got. The best 3 going right now.
Remember when
Run it back, run it up, run it back, run it up.
They tell us it's rivalry week, so we kind of did a little different take to it, Boogie. Your top 3 rivalries that are going right now.
My top 3, at number 3, I have Chet versus Wemby.
Ooh, I love that.
My number 2, have LeBron James versus Dylan Brooks. And my number 1 rivalry will be Steve Kerr
Wow.
versus
feeling an
Jonathan.
in-house rivalry?
I like
Let's just
this.
stay on Boogie's rivalries. Let's just stay on here.
Any problems with these guys?
Any disagreements?
Can't say I disagree.
Oh my God.
Cannot say I disagree.
I can't
You
say
never
I
really see
disagree
the
at all.
rival week being a head coach player, but
No, in-house.
Checks out.
It's
We're in
coming from
some, we're in
inside.
some different times.
that's
man.
unreal.
By the way, I would like to shout out the pictures chosen for Wemby and Chet. If I'm Chet, I'm angry. If I'm Wemby, I'm like,
Because
cool.
it looks like Wemby about to punch him in the nose.
Yeah, it looks real tough and not one doesn't. Okay, fair enough.
That's too,
What do you got, Lou?
that's too good.
Yeah, mine. Listen, I honestly I think it's a drought out for rivalries. You know, so for me, 2 out of the 3 I agree with Boogie, LeBron James versus Dylan Brooks. That has the
like
potential to be fun. I like the fact that Dylan Brooks is being an agitator and LeBron James is kind of paying attention to it. Chet Holmgren versus Wemby. I don't think this is much of a rivalry as well. I think their careers have gone in 2 separate directions.
Whoa.
And you know, I think there was a sexy story two years ago.
2 separate directions?
Absolutely. We're talking about one guy that's on the best team in the league, and we're talking about another guy that's an MVP candidate.
Okay.
They went in 2 different
I just wanna make
directions
sure I got
as far as what's going on. I think they're having success in two different areas of their careers. And then you got your classic. You got your Lakers versus Celtics, and like I said, it hasn't been a great story as of recent, but these are the classes, and I do feel like it's a drought. So that's all I got.
You like LeBron versus Dylan Brooks over Jeannie Buss?
I mean, that could be new.
Well, these things change by the
What
day.
about Rich Paul
And
versus
we did-
Austin Reeves?
Yeah.
That's in the chat.
What's on your list?
Credit.
Look.
I can't take credit. That was in the chat.
This just shows you we're in a. There's not really good rivalries here,
course
especially
not.
teams. So I'm kind of
basketball
similar
wise.
here. I put number 3, or actually number 3. I actually put Luka versus Dennis Schroeder just because recently he
That's
slapped
fun.
him in the face. And there's no video of it, and I want the
Allegedly.
video to come out. And obviously they've been going at it since the Olympics and since the summertime, and that's just something brewing. Is it a rivalry?
It's an international
No. We're
incident.
talking 2 different classes of basketball players here, but it's fun. It's fun to talk about. Then I got Dylan Brooks versus everybody, not just LeBron James, just because that's what he's done. He's having a hell of a year, but he is that irritant, hard-nosed, tough guy that's gonna talk, gonna get under your skin, and just kind of agitate you all game long. And then like the guys, they have Chet versus Wemby, Thunder versus Spurs. I think when you look at these 2 teams, they're both so young. The future's so bright. They're going to be competing and battling, hopefully in the conference finals for years to come, and it's going to continue to grow. Chet and Wemby with the draft and the same size build and the kind of coming in the same years. It's something. It's not everything, but it's definitely something to look for. But
We're looking
we're
for
kind of
stuff.
we're lacking
We're
some real
grasping.
rivalries here.
By the way, it's Dylan Brooks' 30th birthday today. So
Oh, happy birthday!
happy birthday, Dylan.
birthday,
Brooks. Keep up
kid.
the great work. We'll take a quick break, wrap things up on the other side.
Run it up, then run it back.
We got a little "Are you buying that?" Bill Plaschke, longtime writer at the LA Times, said that after the Rich Paul drama, fans favor Austin Reaves over LeBron James. What am I reading out loud? Are you buying that, Boogie? What the hell did I just say? Hold on. After the Rich Paul thing, now people are siding with Austin Reaves over. Okay.
I mean, I would say yes. I'm buying that. Obviously, it's a hate campaign as far as LeBron right now in LA.
I didn't know we were choosing sides. When
That's
did
what
that
it
happen?
seems like. It's more about kind of choosing sides, and you got the Jeannie Buzz situation, you got the Rich Paul. There's just a lot of little, messy drama going around right now. So I would say that I'm buying it.
This is the only reason why I didn't like the whole Rich Paul podcast thing, and I know that we have different opinions on that, is just because it brings up topics and headlines like this where they're just so unnecessary and a possible distraction throughout a season. So he can do what he wants. He'll continue to do what he wants. I love that he has his platform to speak on it, but that is what causes kind of these headlines and this
There will be
narratives, and there
ramifications.
will be ramifications for your words, and that's fine, but like you're making things a little awkward and uncomfortable, but again, that's fine. It's his prerogative.
Okay, we're all good on that?
Good on it.
All right, Lou, you're next. Paul Pierce said that Luka will never be the best player in the league because of his lack of defense. Are you
Not
buying that?
No, I'm not buying that. We've had some of our best players
Currently. Jokic.
We've had one.
Jokic.
No, we've had a
James
few.
Harden's been the best player in the league.
We've had a
He was
few of our
never
best
a
players.
Defender.
He was the best player in
Steph
the
Curry
league.
is the best player in the league. He's not a defender.
Yeah, that's Chandler.
He has a
Sorry.
Nice.
I just named three. Steph, Jokic, James Harden were the best players in the league at one point, and none of them were great defenders. Go ahead.
Listen, some of our best players over the course of years have been guys that have just been so dominant on the offensive end that they've carried teams to great lengths. So I'm not buying it.
Is Jokic a great defender?
No.
Is he the best player in the NBA?
That's why I said we have one.
Steph Curry? He's been the best player in the NBA.
He tries a little.
It's a difference between being a great defender and a willing defender.
That's true.
If you're trying.
So if you're a willing defender, yes, you have an opportunity.
That says lack of defense. You
not-
can try.
You
and
have
still
lack
ain't-
of defense because you're not even trying. So,
Yeah. I tried.
with what Paul is
I
saying,
tried, but nobody's gonna say I play defense.
but you're a willing defender.
I try.
You're a willing
I'm
defender.
willing to try.
Exactly. That's the difference.
try.
I'm agreeing with Paul on this.
There you go.
I ain't buying.
I'm agreeing.
He's never going to be a champion,
Yeah,
and
I'm not
I
buying.
agree with Paul. Paul, you were right on this one. It's weird to say that out loud.
Oh, you agree, Beats?
I do agree. But also, at the end of the day, it
We're
is an
split.
opinion.
Yeah, we're split. We're 50-50.
It's 100% an opinion. You might think he's the best player in the league, and I'm
We're
going to be like, no, he's
50-50.
not.
You ain't got to fight it,
Boom.
Beadle. Go ahead.
I know, you
But
know
I'm
what?
glad you got that off your chest,
I
though.
feel better about it. I feel like my Thursday is going to pick up now.
There you go.
Guys, we only have like less than a minute left, and I don't feel like there's time to get to another
Are
topic.
you going to do a
Audible.
class today? Are you going to do
I don't
yoga?
do a class every day, you guys. I wish one of you would join me once.
You look great.
No, okay, you know what? We have 35 seconds. Way to make it awkward.
We should do dinner.
Now let's just sit here in silence.
We should get drinks.
We got good games tonight.
I don't know.
Actually, I haven't even gotten ahead. I can't get that far ahead. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. Kobe Sanders and Sam Amick will be on tomorrow. Let's
yeah.
figure out
Oh,
something
guess.
weird to ask Sam.
Kobe
like, right
got
off the top.
Kobe, you got to show me that move. Kobe, you created one
That was
on
a
the on
crazy
the,
move.
Yeah, he got to show me. He got to show me
Is
that.
that
so
gonna
I-
be your
I can-
question to
I
him?
can take that back to the kids.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to see that.
You
Shout
not
out
adding it
Kobe.
to your own game?
What game?
We got a game today.
We got a game. Me and Boogie got a game today.
Lakers.
Yeah, we got-